Raiders head back east as they look to get above 500. Welcome to Week 8 of the Silver and Black Show. This week, Lincoln Kennedy and I get you ready for an AFC matchup against the Cleveland Browns. Jon Gruden joins us to break down the seemingly unstoppable Myles Garrett. And I sit down with breakout free agent Nelson Agholor to discuss his recent success. All that and so much more on the Silver and Black Show. Let's get it.
We had a great meeting with the coaches. We had an opportunity to look at everything that we have done, and we have a chance to really talk about our personnel extensively. And we're going to make some changes, no doubt, with the scheme. How much, I don't know, but you'll see some things that you didn't see last week this week.
What is up, Raider Nation? I'm Erin Coscarelli alongside my all-pro tackle, Lincoln Kennedy. Hi, Link.
Hey, EC.
Good to see you. You heard what Coach had to say right there, and that's the one thing I'm going to ask you right off the top of the show, because it seems like priority number one for the Raiders is to fix that pass rush that was an issue. Or get a pass rush. Do you anticipate what kind of changes we will see on Sunday against Baker?
You know, ever since Coach made that comment, he kind of been juggling it around and thinking about what he could possibly do. And the only thing I could really think that makes sense is that you would put Nassib and Max Crosby at the ends and move Cleveland inside, along with someone like Maurice Hurst, who's been having a pretty good season being effective at defensive tackle. That would be able to create their strength and their athleticism will be able to create a sort of an interior push, and then you got the speed outside. That's the only thing I got right now. But Coach is very clandestine about what we're going to do. It's a big secret until you see it.
But interesting that he said for sure you're going to see changes on Sunday, because the Raiders only have 7 sacks on the season so far. Only 2 teams in the NFL have less than that.
Right.
So they do know they need to make a change. Other than the pass rush, your takeaway from Week 7 against the Bucs?
Well, unfortunately, with no pass rush and little or no running game, this team was successful. This team is a ball control offense that keeps the time of possession to keep opposing offenses off of the field, and that didn't happen last week for them. And when you look at the pass rush, you have a great quarterback like Tom Brady, or so many quarterbacks in this league, you give them that much time, they're going to tear you apart.
Halfway through the season, we are now heading into Week 8. What is a bird's eye view for Lincoln Kennedy when you look at this offense that's top 10 in the league in terms of yards per game?
Well, it's one of the things that you have the ability to spread the ball around. So you can't fixate your defense or concentrate on one players in particular. And more importantly, with Derek Carr having such a tremendous year, it's just trying to keep that momentum going. We saw them at times last week in the Tampa game where they seemed effortlessly moving down the field to score, put points on the board, put pressure on the other side, and then kept pace with a really good offense. You got to have that in every game. And really, this team has got to play almost perfect to make up for the injuries and the deficiencies that we're still trying to work out.
Okay, don't go anywhere, because I want to talk to you about the Browns. Lincoln Kennedy and the Browns. Coming up next, though, he has scored a touchdown in each of the last 3 games for the Silver and Black. Wide receiver Nelson Agholor is going to join us to talk why he chose to sign with the Raiders and what it's really like playing for Jon Gruden. That's coming up next.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. Presented by San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium.
2nd down and 5 now. Here is Carr, takes the snap, back in the middle, fires middle, end zone, touchdown, touchdown, pay dirt, Nelson Agholor, baby, first drive of the game, and they attack the middle of the Buccaneer defense deep. What a throw by Derek Carr.
Rich Gannon said he was one of the best free agent signings, not just for the Raiders, but for the entire NFL. You also might want to add him on your fantasy team, just saying. Please welcome to the show, Nelson Agholor. Nelson, thank you so much for joining us.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. All right, well, you signed with the Raiders, a fresh start after 5 years being with the Eagles. Why the Raiders?
Pretty cool opportunity to come out here to Las Vegas and also play for Jon Gruden.
Well, you've been in this league for a while. What type of quarterback is Derek Carr? How is he, honestly, behind the scenes?
He's amazing. Great communicator, works hard, and I think he builds good relationships with all his players.
And you have a lot of chemistry with him, indeed. Speaking of the receivers, it is a pretty young receiver room. You've got 2 rookie wideouts, and you, of course, are taking on that veteran role. What are the different personalities that you see meshing inside the locker room, Nelson?
We got a lot of guys that love football, work hard, and also have, they're fun, fun-hearted guys that come here every day with a smile on their face and great effort.
Well, let's talk about you for a moment, because you scored more touchdowns through week 7 than all of last year. What is it about this offensive scheme that brings out the best in you?
I mean, coach just puts me in position to make plays, and Derek does a great job communicating where he wants me and gives me a ball.
All right, we're going to play a little game. I hope you're ready for it. It's called Who is Nelson Agholor? We're going to give you 5 questions. You grew up in Tampa, but you played in Philly, and you went to USC, which, by the way, go Trojans. So for you, East or West Coast, Nelson?
Oh, that's hard. I have to say that, I think I got a lot of West Coast in me.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then now I'm going to ask you maybe a tougher question for you. Geno's or Pat's Philly cheesesteak?
I don't eat cheesesteaks at all.
Okay. What do you eat instead of cheesesteaks?
Sushi.
Interesting. Favorite sushi?
I like a baked crab hand roll from Katsuya.
That's very good. All right. Who was Nelson's favorite athlete growing up?
2. In basketball, obviously Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And in football, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Interesting. MJ and LaDainian. I like that. All right. For you, Halloween is coming up. Most memorable Halloween costume?
I don't know if I have a memorable costume, but I remember I had like 3 pillowcases one year. Collected 3 pillowcases full of candy.
Of candy? Okay, what's Nelson's favorite candy?
It's hard. Lemon Heads or the original Laffy Taffies, the big ones.
Okay, all right. I like it. I like it. All right, let me ask you one last question. Something that you're not good at that you wish you were?
Baking.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, one thing you are good at is catching footballs. Nelson, we are so grateful to have you on the show. Good luck this weekend against the Browns.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Nelson.
Bye-bye.
On the other side of the break, we're catching up with 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Jim Plunkett to break down the challenges the Raiders face against Myles Garrett and company. Don't go anywhere.
This segment has been brought to you by Microsoft, an official cloud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
49 seconds to go. Wrong. Into the end zone. Was it intercepted? I think Oakland intercepted the ball.
Michael Davis is the man that picked it off. That's just a great play at a very critical time.
Welcome back to Silver and Black. Raiders have a Week 8 matchup with Baker Mayfield and the Browns. And with that, let's welcome in our 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Jim Plunkett, to the show. Jim, thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, every time we play the Browns, we've got to ask about Red Right 88. And you know, I got to ask you, what was the weather like?
Oh, it was absolutely freezing. You know, it was like running on concrete on the field because it was so hard. Throwing the ball was extremely hard. The football itself felt like a rock. So you almost had to shot put it around the field. But you know, our guys hung in there tough, and we squeaked away with a victory.
You squeaked away with a victory. You guys advanced to the AFC Championship game, and then, of course, you beat the Chargers, and then you take on the Eagles in the Super Bowl, which you win. And I want to ask you this, because as the Raiders head to Cleveland, for you, Jim, what do you believe is the most difficult element to play football in? Is it snow, rain?
I think snow and a hardened field. You know, I played in New England my first 5 years in the league. It was some some getting used to for me, being a California guy. But playing on that frozen field in particular in Cleveland made things very difficult. Two high-scoring teams come together, and we could each get 2 touchdowns. But fortunately, they couldn't kick an extra point. And that's why, in a sense, that's why the interception happened, because they were afraid to go for a field goal after he'd already missed 2 extra points during the game. And the end result was red right 88, an interception.
That's right. And the Raiders, as you see right there, win by 2. All right, let's advance the ball to current day. The Raiders coming off a game where they struggled running the ball against the Buccaneers. They were the #1 overall defense. How do you, though, Jim, believe we need to get Josh going again to be able to run the ball and make that offense multi-dimensional?
Well, you know, obviously you have to be very determined on the offensive line, know your blocking scheme, get the job done. You always want to run the ball. And sometimes against some teams, you know, you just find it difficult. And that's where you go to your play action, try to hold those linebackers, try to throw behind them. And to make things more difficult by using the play action. And, you know, and if they can't run the ball against this Cleveland team, I think that those are some of the things they're going to have to do. They're going to have good weather. They're going to be inside, so that will help them.
They'll get some guys back on the offensive line healthy, hopefully Trent Brown being one of them. Let's switch gears to the defense. And you mentioned play action earlier. What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield and how the Raiders will be able to contain him on Sunday?
Well, you know, he's a good mobile quarterback. He's already got 15 touchdown passes, which is quite a few in this league already. You know, I always say you got to pressure the quarterback, kind of come after him, make him throw when he doesn't want to. He's going to make some plays. I don't think there's any doubt about that, because he'll get out of trouble. He's that good of a runner. But I say keep the pressure on. You know, and other times you want to back off, but rush 3, and hopefully the 8 guys in coverage can prevent a completion. But my key is always go after the quarterback.
And they certainly will try against Baker Mayfield and the Browns. We appreciate getting Jim Plunkett on the show each and every week. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet. My pleasure. And go Raiders.
From our Super Bowl winning quarterback to our Raiders head coach, JT the Brick catches up with Coach Gruden ahead of Sunday's matchup against the Browns.
We welcome in the head coach of the Silver and Black, John Gruden. And coach, a tough loss to Tampa Bay, but you're 3-3 after 6 weeks. Assess your team's play.
Well, we've had some exciting times. We've had some tough times, and we've overcome a lot of adversity. And I think 3-3 pretty much summarizes where we are. We've got to show improvement. We've got to play better on defense. We've got to generate some turnovers from our defense. And obviously we need Trent Brown and some of our men to get healthy on offense. But I like our effort. I like how hard we practice and prepare. It's going to pay off soon. I believe that.
Coach, the Raider Nation loves the signing of Nelson Agholor. We got a couple of plays here. First, the touchdown where he broke free and Derek found him. Let's talk about this play.
Yeah, we end up in a bunch formation, and you see Nelson Agholor at the point of the bunch, and we just sent him down the seam. Derek recognized something, and we audibled to the play, and Agholor ran right down the hash mark. Derek made the perfect throw, and you see Agholor catch the ball away from his body. He shows speed. You know, just a great job of handling the football away from his body and protecting the catch for 6. He's played huge dividends for us. He's not only an outstanding slot receiver, but he can play outside. Here in the third quarter, we motioned Waller over to a trips formation, and we came up with a stem go, we call it, where you see Agholor stem toward the inside edge of the numbers. He closes the cushion. He runs the defender down. He steps on his toes, releases to the outside, and Derek Carr makes a perfect throw, but Agholor goes and gets it. So he's doing a lot of great things for our offense, blocking, catching the ball, making explosive plays down the field. I really like him.
Coach, let's stay with him and the trust. I want to talk about the trust that Derek has for him, how they work together in the offseason, and we're seeing that chemistry every game.
Yeah, we've got a young receiving core, and obviously Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Waller's just in his second year. It's good to have a veteran player who's been in the Super Bowl and won it, and a guy that can play every position, knows how to prepare, and can really separate against man coverages and react versus zone defenses.
All right, Coach, let's go to Myles Garrett, an absolute beast this year. He might be the Defensive Player of the Year. We have 2 sacks against Joe Burrow. Tell us what we're seeing here.
Well, Garrett is he's an excellent player because of where he can play. He can play interior defensive line over the guard. He can also play on the edge. And here you see Myles Garrett against the Bengals left tackle. This is a good get off. He's got great speed, but it's his length and his ability to dip that inside shoulder and close. And not only does he get there, JT, he causes a lot of fumbles, sack strips. Cleveland has taken the ball away 14 times, and a lot of those turnovers are because of Myles Garrett. And he can play either side, and he can really ruin the football game. Here he is in the red zone last week against Cincinnati, working on the offensive left tackle. And he's just got great in and out quickness. There you see the close and the long speed that he has that very few pass rushers have. The ability to close down and chase and pursue and get there on the far edge of the numbers. This guy's a great player. We got to be aware of him at all times.
Coach, you have 2 really good tackles here. Once again, O-line depth, also maybe chipping him at the line of scrimmage. The strategy as you prepare for him and what he can do, he's a big part of this game plan going into Cleveland.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a guy that our running backs have to be aware of, certainly. Trent Brown's status is still up in the air. So if we do play Sam Young or Brandon Parker at right tackle, they got to be ready to play their best football game of the season. But our protection plan has to be dialed in against 95.
Let's move on to Baker Mayfield. And, Coach, when there's pressure on him, he's a different quarterback. When there's no pressure on him, he is playing at a really high level, coming off 5 touchdowns.
He really is. And I think what really helps him is their running game. And when they get the running game going, they can get you in multiple ways. And as you said it, JT, this kid in the pocket, if protected, is a great rhythm passer, and he's deadly accurate. And Njoku is their tight end. He's a vertical threat, number 85, and that's about as pinpoint a seam route as you will see. So you got to get after him and force him off the spot, something we did not do last week against Tom Brady. But here's Mayfield late in the game. This is where you got to like him the most. He has a ability to bring his team from behind. He's always been clutch, and here he is making another pinpoint throw to win the game to Peoples-Jones, young receiver out of Michigan, who's filling in for Odell Beckham. Give the kid credit. This is a 5-2 football team because of their turnover ratio and because of the play of Myles Garrett and this young quarterback. He's fun to watch.
Coach, you've won in every environment, but now you're not a warm weather coach, you're a hot weather coach. Here in Vegas, and now you travel out to Cleveland, there's travel. Doesn't look like weather is going to play a big role in this game, but you get your team on a plane for a big game.
No doubt, and the wind and the rain will be there in Cleveland. I'm from Ohio, so I know what the weather's like this time of year. We are expecting heavy winds and some rain, and our team mentally has to be ready for that, and we also got to be ready for a good Cleveland Browns team. They're on the rise.
Good luck in Cleveland, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, JT. Have a good one.
This segment has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just awful to lose a guy like that. And, you know, we believe we have a great team. And so that's why we're going to ask these guys to step in. And multiple guys to try and fill that void. You know, we still going to lean on this running game. We're still going to lean on this play action and trust these guys to make the one-on-one plays when they're there. So, you know, without him, there might not be as many one-on-one opportunities, but that means we just have to be more efficient in the zone coverages and things like that to make those plays.
Welcome back into the show. Erin Coscarelli, Lincoln Kennedy back with you. Let's talk Browns. You just heard Baker Mayfield talk about having to overcome the loss of OBJ, who tore his ACL and is out for the season with Cleveland. But what have you seen from the Browns this season? Baker has tended to do well in this Kevin Stefanski scheme.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And, of course, they don't have a luxury of playing against the Bengals every week like he tore it for 5 TDs. But this is a run-first team, Aaron. And when you look at them, they lost a tremendous talent in OBJ. And now they've got to me, a number of possession-style receivers. Don't really have the speed to take the top off the defense like a Tyreek Hill or a Henry Ruggs III, but they've got the ability with a great tight end and a number of other receivers to keep everything house. Don't make no amends about it. They are going to run the ball. They are going to test to run the ball because they are third in the league, averaging 157 yards per game in statistics in rushing the ball.
It's really interesting. If you look at the Raiders' schedule, the past 2 games have been powerful aerial attacks, and like you mentioned, now they are going to the third best run offense in the league. But the Browns lead the league in takeaways with 14. And let's talk about Myles Garrett, because has he earned number 1 for you in terms of best defensive player in the league with what he's been able to do this season? He is a tone setter.
He always has been. I mean, you talk about great guys like Aaron Donald for the Rams, and you look at what Myles Garrett did. He's taken his game to the next level. This defense struggles as a whole. They're not very good, especially defending the pass. But if you take Myles Garrett out the game, and that's very hard to do, whether you're using a chip or a double team or something like that to block him or sliding away, you have some opportunities to strike on this defense. But Myles Garrett is playing phenomenal football and definitely MVP caliber right now.
Yeah, just take a look. 9 sacks, guess what? That's best in the NFL. Okay, so maybe double team Myles Garrett. I'm going to ask you the question I ask you each and every week. Lincoln Kennedy, my all-pro tackle, key to victory for the Silver and Black is?
Keep that man out of the backfield we just looked at. You got to keep Derek Carr clean. There's no doubt about it. You got to keep the quarterback clean because you cannot allow the pressures or the pressure to get to him. More importantly, if they're only rushing 4 and they're going to play coverage behind it, receivers have got to win. You got to, because as Jim said earlier, get the ball out early. Well, that means receivers have to win early. You know what I mean? And so you can't hold on to the ball, but you definitely have to keep Derek clean.
Keep Derek Carr clean from our all-pro tackle, Lincoln Kennedy. Thank you very much for joining us this week. I love chatting with you each and every week. And thank you guys at home for watching the Silver and Black Show. That is a wrap for us. For Erin Coscarelli, for Lincoln Kennedy, Jim Plunkett, we thank you for watching as the Raiders look to go 4-3 against the Cleveland Browns.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Twitch, the official live streaming partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.